Okay, we're back at it today. Some yoga. I'm adding in some hand weights. There'll be a little cardio portion in the middle. I'm not going to use music because I'm running into copyright issues. So I'll attach the playlist on Spotify. And then when we get to the cardio part, I will put headphones on and dance around the room. And you'll be doing it with me. Little earth, wind, and fire always lifts the spirit. So let's start on our backs. Okay, I'll see you on your mat. Alright, so lay on your back and bring your feet so they're, about hip width. Knees are pointed up to the sky. Lift your chest off the floor a little bit and slide your shoulder blades down your back and open the palms to the ceiling. And now you can start the music. And then we'll begin here. Actually, let's have our feet come together and let the knees open and get grounded for a little bit. So put the hands on the belly and deep breathe. And all I'm asking for today from myself is to be right here, just present in this day. Because if I start thinking about how long is this going to go on and the future of what my world is as I know it, I really start to get uptight. And I think what's best for our immunity is to stay as calm and as we can, because we now know that stress is linked to so much disease. So it's been proven now that doing sympathetic nervous system activities I think it's parasympathetic, like mindfulness, which we do in yoga, and meditation can truly bring us longevity and health. So let's get moving. So you're in this bridge pose. Let's do some spinal articulations, lifting all the way up, and then exhale, lowering down. Now hold it here, take an inhale, and then tuck, curl, and lift. And then exhale, lower it down. 3 more. So today's class is a 5s class that I do sometimes, and all it is we'll do everything 5 times. It's nice to have a little repetition, and then because you're not here in the room and being able to see me really well, you'll get 5 tries to do something. So now on your 5th roll up, hold your roll up. And just kind of wake up the back of the legs here. Hold in your abdominals nice and tight. Lift your chin off of your chest. Yeah. Now see today if you can do something called diaphragmatic breathing, which is where you not just use your lungs, but you also use your diaphragm, which is one of your biggest muscles in your body. 1 more inhale, and then exhale, lower it down. Squeeze your knees into your chest, and then roll through to a cat-cow. Yeah, and then from cat-cow, let's move through, arching the back, and then rounding the back on an exhale. And then because our lymphatic system is directly connected to our immune system, I want to stimulate that today. And we'll start with the lymph nodes that are in the underarms. So come to an extension stretch where your forearms are on the ground, your forehead's on the ground, and your buttocks is up in the air. And if you dip your chest down, you get this deep stretch up the underarms. Nice. Awesome. Now from here, downward facing dog. It's your first down dog of the day, so we'll go kind of easy. And then push to a plank. Exhale. We'll do this 5 times. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, plank, setting your shoulders each time. Now on the 5th one, come to a plank and drop your right knee right underneath your right hip. Lift your left leg. Yeah, and then bring your right arm out in front of you, but relax the right shoulder. Now inhale here and then bring your right arm down by your side. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, arm down by your side. 3 more. Exhale. 2. Last one. Put the right hand on the ground, put the ball of the left foot on the floor, and then lift your right leg up in the air. 3-legged dog. Bending the right knee, open the hip. So another place for the lymph nodes is in the inner groin. So as we lift the right leg and open the hip, we stretch the inner groin as well. Now relax the shoulders, let the head dangle. Good. Back to downward facing dog. Let's do 5 down dogs to plank again. So inhale, tailbone's gonna reach up, and then exhale, another plank. And then do 5 more of those. Inhale, 4 more. And then exhale, plank. Inhale, exhale, plank. Strong plank, belly in, glutes engaged. Last one here. Put your left knee on the ground, lift your right leg. So the right leg lifts just below the hip. Because if we lift it too high, then we go right into the low back, which is just not something we want to stimulate or irritate. So nice strong spine. Left arm out in front of you. And yeah, it's a challenging balance, so you don't need to do the left arm. But if you're with me, left arm by your side, we're just warming up. Yeah, and then we'll run through this 5 times. Always inhaling when we extend the arm. And then exhaling as we bring the ribs together. Flexing through the right toes helps. Pointing the right toes towards the ground activates all 3 of the glute muscles here. And then once you get to 5, drop your left hand to the floor, curl the left toes under, right toes underneath you, and lift the left leg. Bend the left knee and open up the hip. Nice stretch here. And then downward facing dog. Good, so let's move into the back by lowering ourselves to the ground. So you'll be pressing into a cobra. And notice in the cobra here, our shoulders are down. A lot of times you see people in their cobra and their shoulders are way up in the air, or they lock out their elbows. Now, maybe in yin it's okay, but in vinyasa we like a soft bend in the elbow and the neck to be long and free. And then lower down, and you'll keep your hands where they are, and then push yourself to a plank. And we'll do that 4 more times. So lower down, inhale to a cobra, and then push yourself to a plank. Yeah. 3 more, just like that. I've been doing a lot of these in these videos, and my triceps are tender. Woo! So it's working. Yeah, and upper body strength has never been my strength. So this is great, because at 51, we're still making changes, right? We're still bettering ourselves. Downward facing dog. Woo! Yeah. Nice job, you guys. So we'll do some sun A's, and before we get going, just a a little bit of a neck stretch as well. So let's make our way to the top of our mat, and then forward fold. And then tabletop your back on an inhale, and then forward fold. And then round up to standing. And I want you to, and I'm going to come down to my knees so you can see, just a quick little neck stretch before. So there are lymph nodes in the neck that I just want to stimulate before we get going. So bring the right ear to the right shoulder, reach around with the right hand and grab onto the left ear, and just lower and lift the right hand, the left hand. Just a quick little stimulus for the neck, and we'll use the neck a little bit in our practice today with our gaze or our dristi, and then do the other side. So you're standing at the top of your mat. I'm bending my knees so you can see, I'm on my knees so you can see what I'm doing here. Good. All right, let's flow through some Surya Namaskara A, and then we'll get going. So inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to plank, to the floor. Inhale, half lift, and then step back. Roll forward and lower down halfway. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. So that's one. You know what, it's kind of like a burpee. So if you really wanted to, not think of yourself as a yogi and think of yourself as an athlete, it's a burpee. So, you jump to the top of your mat, which is like a burpee, right? And then we flatten out our back here before we come to standing. And then we come right back down. Again, working the back muscles every time we flatten the back. And then this is a burpee too, as you jump to your chaturanga. We add a upward facing dog because we like to stretch out our chest. Downward facing dog. Yeah, and you can do them super fast, like you do in a gym, or like us, you can rest in this down dog for 5 breaths, which is incredibly challenging for the upper body. And also a wonderful stretch for the hamstrings. All right, bend your knees, let's keep going. And these you can do at your own pace, right? Everybody's got a different breath stroke, kind of like a swimming stroke. Just as long as you get 5 of them in, that's kind of classic Ashtanga number. And we're doing a 5s class today. And then if you're done with your 5 before I am, just do more. You can also walk to the top of your mat. You don't have to jump. If it bothers your low back, I wouldn't jump. Now this is something, if you do step back to a plank, in my experience has helped with my shoulders, is if I come forward and then lower down. And again, I know some of you guys are super strong, strapping, muscular people, but these are for the people like me who just aren't blessed with that mesomorph body. I've had to make modifications. One more time. Walk or jump to the top of your mat and forward fold. So it's vinyasa yoga because we have a breath that goes with each. So every move has either an inhale or an exhale. If you jump to your chaturanga, it's one long exhale. Good. Awesome. So we're going to move on. So the first 5 series, we're going to use weights. So bend your knees, look between your hands, walk to the top of your mat and forward fold. Grab your hand weights, and yes, they're optional, don't worry about it. Bend your knees, and then bring your hands to cactus. Now you could also bring your arms over your head, but I find cactus to be better for the lats, the middle trapezius, the muscles that keep our back strong and our shoulders in place. Yeah, good. So now you're going to stand on the right leg and lift the left thigh into a tabletop without letting the back curl under. So those are the two shapes we're going to make, and we're going to do them 4 more times. So chair pose, and it's called Ekapada Tadasana, which is one-legged mountain pose when we stand on one leg. But you know what, I just like calling it standing on one leg for a couple seconds, because sometimes the Sanskrit words can get, 1, hard to say, but 2, you know, make people feel like it's something fancy. It really isn't. It's just creative movements of our body. Now you can put your hands on the floor, and I'd suggest it for this first time as you step your left foot back. And then I would heel toe my right foot over to the right a little bit. And then bring your arms overhead, and then cactus the arms. And then twist, and then come back, and bring the arms overhead. So we'll do that 4 more times, I know. So bend your right knee up to 90 if you can. Come up on the ball of the left foot. You can do the whole thing with cactus arms if you don't like to lift your arms over your head. Let's get moving before my right thigh falls off. Yeah, so I'll link the breath now. So inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, hands to a cactus. Yeah, twist. Yeah, a few more times. Inhale, exhale. Hold your inhale, twist, exhale. 1 more time. I think. Do you remember? I know I don't either. Now put the hands down on the inside of the right leg. And then bring the arm out in front of you. Again, you don't have to use weights here. And then exhale. Bring your elbow to your waistline. Punch your right arm forward. Exhale, elbow to waistline. 3 more times. Now when you bring your right shoulder out, we don't bring the shoulder out of the socket. We keep it in the socket. Exhale, twist. Last one here. Beautiful. Now put the weights on the ground. You might need books here because we're going to stand on the right leg. Bend the left knee, open the hip. Yeah, and then bend the right knee and bring the left leg all the way over, because I want you to feel this really deep stretch. Now if you have knee problems, you might want to come onto the ball of the right foot as you bend your right knee, but it makes it pretty challenging. Your call here. And then just like with everything, these are all suggestions. So if anything feels like bone is grinding on bone, or there's any kind of nerve impingement, then that's not good. That's not healthy. And then so you move yourself in a way that it's modified. 1 more round like this. And then just put your left foot down next to your right, grab your weights, and then bend your knees again. Bring your hands to cactus, and then stand up on the left leg. Let's give the right leg a little break, and then back to a chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, chair. So yeah, so with the music, you can play, since this is on YouTube, you can play this video on your TV and then have your Spotify playing on your Sonos speaker. So you could really turn down the volume of me and watch the movement if you don't want to hear my voice, which is pretty much what my kids would probably do. And then we come into the runner's lunge on the left side. And the reason why I heel toe my left foot over to the left is for balance. And then come on up, you're in this cactus pose. And then twist. Back to cactus. And then arms overhead. overhead, inhale, and then twist 2 more times. So even here, we're stretching the psoas, but we're also stimulating the lymph nodes. Last one here. We'll twist. And then put the hands down on the inside of the left foot. Reach the left arm out in front of you like you're punching. And then bring the left elbow to the left hip. Inhale. Exhale. So we'll keep adding combinations onto this series. Inhale, reach. Exhale. 2 more. Last one. And then standing splits on the left leg. Bend the right knee and let the hip open. And then drop the right leg all the way over to the left. The further over to the left, the bigger the stretch. Lift the leg, bend the knee, and then exhale. And then exhale. I think 2 more. Warming up the legs. All these twists are stimulating our digestive system. Yeah, creating that hourglass figure, or at least, whittling down the waistline a little bit. Beautiful. Let's begin again and we'll add on. So grab your weights again, bend your knees. Chair pose. Left leg will be the one in tabletop, and then back in your chair. Now, you can have the ankles, knees, and thighs together in your chair pose. Or if you feel more comfortable having the legs hip distance, then that's great too. And pretty soon this gets pretty cardiovascular because we move pretty dynamically. Good, this will be the last time. Now I know some of you guys have the balance here to come right into your crescent lunge, and that's great, otherwise we'll wait. Arms overhead and then twist. Inhale, and then twist. Yes, you've got it. Twist. The right heel gets really squirrely. One more inhale here. And then hands on the floor. Right arm reaches out in front of you, and then the elbow to the waistline. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale. 3 more. 2. Last one. Both hands down. Back to standing on the right leg. Bend the left knee, open the hip. And then cross. So it's a single leg squat with a twist. Always, whenever you're forward folding like this, as we are over the right leg, we hold the belly firm to support a strong low back. Good. Last time here. And then drop the left foot down next to the right. We'll add on. So tabletop your back on an inhale. And then plant your hands, step or jump back. We flow to a downward facing dog. Good. Now lift your right leg in the air. You're going to bring your knee to your forehead 5 times. And then this first one I want to demonstrate. Your shoulders are over the wrists, because that's the strongest foundation for the arms. Yeah, a lot of times we don't come far enough and people complain about wrist pain. But now we're using everything. The knee and the forehead come together So you get a nice flexion for your spine, and your low belly is pulled in. And my voice is shaking because this is hard, right? So let's do it 4 more times. Inhale, here's your extension. Exhale, flexion. Last time. So we're going to step our right foot to the right of our hands, not right in the middle, and then put the left heel down on the ground. Turn the left toes out so they're at a 45. Bend your right knee up to 90 degrees, and then grab your weights. Now bring the arms out to the side like wings, but notice how my thumbs are pointed to the sky and my shoulders are open. So many times in classes I see this happen and your shoulders are pointed to the ground, and over time this is going to irritate the shoulder. So we're here. And then arms overhead. And then exhale again. So I think this is called like a rocket warrior or something. But all we're doing is adding extra weight to the right thigh as we lay our torso over the thigh, not really on it, it's suspended. Yeah. Last one here. Good, and now put your hands on the floor and crawl over to the left, so you're in this spread leg fold, and I will turn this way. So we're in this spread leg forward fold now. And then put the hands on the hips, and then come all the way up to standing. Turn the toes out at a 45, shake out your hips, bend both knees so you're in like a horse pose. Bring your arms back to this cactus. Yep, and then we're gonna twist. Good, and then drop your elbows to your waistline and lift. And then twist. And down. Yeah, 5 more times. Not 5 more, but yeah, we're gonna do it 4 more times. You okay? Yeah. Again, you can turn my voice off and just play music, and you can count your own 5. Good. Every time you bring your elbows into your sides, exhaling. One more time, each side. Last one. Now from here to a warrior 2, you'll just kick your left heel out, bend your right knee to 90, arms out to the side like wings. Now from here, it's an exalted warrior. Weights are in the hands, it adds a little bit of difficulty, so you can drop them if you don't like it. And then a side angle pose. Yeah. Exhaling into your side angle pose, inhaling through your exalted warrior. Exhaling, side angle pose. Woo! Last one, I think. Side angle pose, hold it here. One more inhale. Put the weights down, vinyasa. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Woo! The weights make a difference. Now look between the hands, bend your knees. Walk to the top of your mat and forward fold. Inhale, tabletop your back. Exhale, forward fold. Yeah, bend your knees. Come all the way up. And now we'll be in our chair pose again. So chair to one-legged Tadasana. So this time the right leg will come into a tabletop and then sit in your chair. So I'd love to hear you guys' ways that you're staying positive and happy through this very weird, surreal experience. Of course, for me, movement brings me so much joy. So that is my number one thing I do, as is creating order in the house. I'm going to plant a garden a little bit later today, but kind of worried I don't want to get in trouble. So now we step back to that crescent lunge. So the ball of the right foot's on the floor, the heel's off the floor. Yeah, good. And then arms overhead if you want. Otherwise, stay in cactus and just twist. And twist. Exhale. And you know, I don't think going for a walk with a friend, if they're 6 feet away, might not hurt. Woo! And then twist. Nice, you guys. Now bring the hands on the inside. Whoa, keep the right knee off the floor. I know you want to put it down. I do too. Stay with me. Punch with the left hand. Now you can drop and twist. Punch. Exhale, twist. 3 more times. So I don't know if I told you guys, but Mike and I made the decision, Mike is my ex-husband, to send he and Jesse to Carmel for the foreseeable future, so they can really be isolated, because Jesse's just always had lung issues. One more time here, standing splits. Lift the right leg, bend the right knee and open the hip. Yeah, that's kind of nice. And then cross the right leg behind. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower down. Gotta keep breathing through this stuff. It's really easy as things get hard to hold our breath, like we're bracing ourselves for something. But you know, that kind of wakes up that parasympathetic nervous system again, that fight or flight. Yeah, instead of the sympathetic, which is rest and restore. Beautiful. So, drop the right foot down next to the left. You'll need your weights again pretty soon. Tabletop your back, and then vinyasa. Left leg's gonna lift on an inhale. Again, knee to nose, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, shoulders over wrist, exhale. 2 more. Good, now here we go. So step your left foot between your hands. Put the right heel on the floor, turn the right toes out to the right, grab your weights. We'll call it Rocket Warrior 1. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale. Yeah, keep going. Here we go, here's 5. Arms overhead. And then crawl yourself over to the right. Good. Now, bring your hands to your hips here. And then press yourself up to standing. And then turn the toes out, and we'll continue. So bring the knees down to the ground. Bring the arms out in front of you. And then we're just going to bring the arms in and out here. We're going to do more than 5. We're going to do 5 sets of 5. So now hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we'll do in and out for 5. Burning calories, building strength. If it's not hard, you tune out, right? That's why, like, I took this speed reading class when I was 15. And the guy said, yeah, it's like when you drive really slowly, you can tune out and like end up at the grocery store when you wanted to be at your kid's school. But if you're a race car driver going a gazillion miles an hour, you can't really tune out. And so I'm using our sensation, the feeling, the muscle fatigue as what's keeping our attention here. So we don't tune out, so we stay mindful in our yoga practice. Yeah. So after this one, we only have 2 more. Yeah. How are you doing? Staying with me? This morning I listened to this really cool seminar that UCSF did with kind of the leading folks in nutrition and integrative medicine. And you know what the best part about it was, it just reinforced that we're doing the right stuff. We're practicing meditation as well as we can. We're practicing yoga. We are communing with others. We're eating our fruits and vegetables. We're trying to source all our food from the best, so it's quality. 4 and 5. Nice work. Take a break for a second. Yep. Come into your warrior 2 on the left side. Arms overhead, exalted warrior. Side angle pose. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale, last one here. Great work, everybody. Hands to the ground. We vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. All right. So we'll flow through this again, but let's take a little detour and come to our back for some abdominal work. So roll yourself all the way down to the ground. Yep, and bring your arms over your head and extend your legs over your head, keeping the small of your back on the floor. Bring the left leg out without letting the low back lift. Bring the right arm behind your head, but keep your shoulder in its socket. Again, if this doesn't feel good, skip the weights, right? And then switch. And then switch. And then switch. Switch. Exhaling as you lower the leg, right? Because that just keeps your belly holding down. We're going to get so strong over the next 2 weeks. You stay with me in the countless other videos that are being published every day by, they're just people just like us that love our fitness and love being together, and it just feels like I feel like I'm teaching doing this, right? And it motivates me to stay moving myself, so it's a win-win. So I appreciate you tuning in, and then at some point I might just have to set up some chairs to make it feel like I'm teaching somebody. Good. Now we're going to do a seal. We're going to use the weight. So 2, 2, 2. I put a soft bend in the elbows. 2, 2. You can do this with your head, neck, and shoulders on the floor. You can do this with bent knees too. 2, 2. Just keep your low back on the floor. 2, 2. Yeah. Now notice where my knees are in relationship to my hip. They're really right above it, too close, and we risk pulling on the low back, which is not what we really want. Yeah, let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then lower everything down. Put the weights on your hip bones if you have them, and raise yourself back up. Yeah. Now put the weights between your legs and walk your feet, ankles, knees, and thighs together. Yeah, good. And then scoot your feet further away from you and lift your heels, your toes off the floor. And then tap the weight to the floor and lift your hips. Yeah. So, when I was in high school, look, I already dropped it. When I was in high school, it was all about, you wanted inner thigh clearance. So you wanted people to be able to see between your thighs. And I was kind of a chubby kid in high school, so never happened, right? So now you really don't want inner thigh clearance because you want to be able to squeeze those weights so they don't fall out. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then lower yourself down and grab your weights. Yeah, now bring your knees together, let your hips open. Again, if this doesn't feel good on your knees, we don't do, yeah? So lift and then drop, elbows down by your side, up and down, up and down, up and down. Knock knee taps into a part of your bottom that is right kind of at the crack, up and down. Now, what happens if you lift your heels? You get a little calf workout. Now, Lainey, I know you don't like calves, so you can keep your heels on the floor. Press, press, press. Now, hold the arms down. Hold the hips up. Tiny little presses. Up, up, up. Lift, lift, lift. Squeezing the seat. Dropping the shoulders. Up and up. Squeeze and squeeze. Squeeze and squeeze. 8 more. You good? 3, 2, lower it down, turn the toes out, lift the hips, okay? So you can overlift here, right? And be all up in your neck and your shoulders. Keep your thoracic back spine on the floor. So just that lumbar and the sacrum are off the floor. And then tuck under. Yeah, good. Now, we're going to do a chest opener here. So open the arms out to the side and then bring them together. And then lower and lift, lower and lift, lower and lift. Chest, glutes. Come onto the heels if that feels okay. Lift the toes. Out. Yeah, so the knuckles kind of come together here. Now if the arms are too high, like at shoulder height or more, you're going to feel it in your shoulder, and I don't want you to feel it there because it hurts, right? So keep the arms below the shoulder. 3, 2, and 1. Now hold it here, and then drop the arms just to your working point. Tiny little lifts, and lifts with the arms. Ribs knit, belly is in. Seat is squeezing. I know, brutal. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then 1. Good. Okay, so I want to offer up a real back bend, and there's multiple kinds. So you could come into a real bridge, shoulder bridge, but keep your chin off of your chest. Or you could do a wheel, and I might lose my mic, but there are plenty of people out there I know love doing a wheel. So here's your chance. Your fingers point towards your shoulders. I have to walk my feet in a lot closer, and then I want you to look at my feet. They're pointed straight ahead, and they're not going to open out. So, yeah, and then you just do your best to breathe. And I had this teacher, Tim Thompson, and he was all about us holding this. So finding something we could maintain, and then calming ourselves down enough where we could hold it. Yeah. And then the other thing he'd have us do is come down and lift back up. So let's try that. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3 more. Inhale. You could do this in your bridge. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Hold it here. Lower yourself all the way down. Bring your knees into your chest. Circle the knees around. Nice job. I think it might be time for our cardio portion. If I timed it right. Oh, I'm already in it. Sorry, you guys. Let's do it. I'm going to put on my headphones so I can listen in with you. So just start with your jumping jacks. Play around. Have some fun. I want to get set up. Jump, play, run, sweat. Yes. Oh God, I hope it doesn't get cut off because they can hear the feedback. We'll see. Whoa. Jumping jacks. Blast it, you guys. Are you having fun? This is where your kids will come in the room and be like, Mommy, what are you doing? Maybe cross the arms out in front. It's only 4 minutes. This high intensity training helps reduce our cholesterol. I went to the doctor last year and that's what he told me to keep doing, or start doing. Because even with all the yoga, my LDL was ticking up. 4, 3, 2. I shouldn't count because you guys might be on a different beat. Remember Phoebe in Friends? Run like Phoebe. Wonderland. My least favorite, high knees. Don't stop. Even if you're stepping in place, don't stop. I won't stop. It's over. It's over. Okay. Mine is over. If yours is over, we're going to flow through the whole thing one more time, okay? Here we go. So let's start in a chair pose. Yeah, it's active recovery right here. Stay on the right leg, lift the left knee to a tabletop. Have a seat. Inhale. And then exhale. Woo! This is also a great calf stretch as you bend your knees and drive them forward, lengthening through the calf. And it's going to get a step better in a minute. Yeah. Working through that left calf. And then twist. Arms overhead. Twist. Catch your breath. Arms overhead. Twist. Two more. I forgot the weights, sorry. Yeah, grab your weights if you're with me. I don't know where mine are. Oh, here it is. You don't have to drop the knee if you're nice and warm and you want to finish super strong. But dropping the knee gives you a really good psoas stretch. Standing splits, you're on the right leg. Bend the left knee, open your hip. Bend the right knee and cross your left leg across your body. Inhale and open. Exhale and lower. Exhale and lower. Two more. Last one here. Put both feet down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Good stretch, right? Downward facing dog. Feel that calf stretch you need from all that jumping around. Lift your right leg on an inhale. Bring your knee to your nose. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. 3 more times. 2. Now it's warrior 1, but we're going to use our weights. So step your right foot forward, put your left heel on the ground, grab your weights, arms out to the side like wings. Lift up and inhale. Suspend the chest and exhale. You're doing great. We're doing great. Good. Now, open yourself up. Oh! And I'm going to turn around. So I face you. Bend both knees. So you're in this horse pose. Yep. And then we're going to twist. And then bring the elbows by your side. Got it? Try to keep the lower body completely static, which means we don't let the knees cave in. So only twist as far as you can go without letting the knee cave in. 2 more times right here. Keep that deep breathing going. Put a smile on your face. Something about jumping around. It puts a smile on your face. Those endorphins. Good. Warrior 2, but we exalt it. And then side angle pose. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, side angle pose. 2 more times. I think 3, right? How you doing? So form can break down when we get tired, right? So mindful of your low back by using your core strength, your obliques, and your deep right thigh bend to keep you here. Vinyasa. Upward facing. Downward facing. Diggity dog. Breathe. Look between the hands, bend the knees. Walk to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, tabletop your back. Exhale, forward fold. Grab your weights, bend your knees. Chair pose. Your left leg here is your base. This is the last side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit. I hope you got a good sweat going. Yeah. Last one. Now we're going to come into crescent. You don't have to put your hands on the ground if you don't want to, but please do if you feel like you need that extra little touch. Otherwise, cactus, bending the left knee up to 90, maybe the right leg is straight, and then twist. And then inhale, arms overhead, and then exhale, twist. Inhale, arms overhead, exhale, twist. 2 more. Inhale, arms overhead, exhale, twist. Last one. Twist. Standing splits. No, sorry, hands on the inside of the left leg, sorry about that. Bring your left arm forward. And then drop the knee and bring the left elbow to the left hip. Yeah. So those are the 2 shapes. 3 more times. Last one. Now standing splits. Lift the right leg up, bend the right knee, open the hip, and then close it down. That's 1. See if you can drop your head. Maybe for these last 2, close your eyes. Scary. Last one here. Lift the right leg and then you'll put it right down next to your left where we'll vinyasa. So inhale, half lift. Exhale, step it back. Roll forward and lower down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Ready? Here we go. Left leg lifts. Knee to nose. Exhale. Left leg lifts. Knee to nose. Last time here. Step your left foot to the outside so it's not right in the middle. Okay? Put your right heel on the floor. Grab your weights. Arms out to the side like wings. Come on up. Warrior 1. Squeezing your right glute will save your low back. And then come on down. Lifting up through your right kneecap will keep you from locking out the joint and feeling that bone-on-bone yucky feeling in the right knee. Yeah. I love it, you guys. You're still with me. I'm so grateful. Good. Last time we'll open it up. We're in that wide turnout. Bend the knees again. And hopefully I can think about what we did. We did these terrible things. So let's not do 5, okay? Let's just hold it here. And then circle the arms. That'll get us. Relax the shoulders. Circle the arms. This makes me think about the Tracy Anderson method. Tiny little thing, 90-pounder. And she can just knock these out for 5 minutes with a smile on her face. So keep switching the directions at 5. I know. And then go in the other direction. We'll go 1 more round. Sit nice and low. Can you lift your heels for 4, 3, 2, exalted warrior on the left-hand side. Get stable first, and then move into your side angle pose. 1, 2. Yeah. So the right shoulder might start kind of caving in because you're tired, yeah? Good. 3, 4. Here's 5. Let's hold it. 1 final inhale. Put the hands on the ground. Step back. Lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Good. Let's see how much time we have here. So I think we're probably ready for a stretch. So let's sit back on the heels. Actually, you know what, can we do one more thing? So I want you to put a weight in each crease of your thigh. Okay? And then I want you to lift your legs in the air, but tuck your pelvis underneath you and hold on to the weights if you can, or maybe they'll balance right at the end of your hamstring. And then try to see if you can reach back and grab the legs. And then if you kick your legs away from you, you might be able to lift your chest off the floor, look down at the ground, so you have this nice long neck. And just a little 6-pound addition makes all the difference. Now, I know a lot of times you see people whose thighs are way out to the side, and I encourage you, I just lost my weight, but I encourage you to bring the legs so they're hip distance. It's just safer on the knee to have the knee and the hip lined up. Yeah, and then release everything. I'll probably lose my weights. That's okay. Good, for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower yourself down and slide your right knee up to the right. And put your left ear on the mat. And just this little turn of the head, I'm going to lift my head, but this turn of the head is kind of massaging that lymph node that's right underneath the left side of your neck and the chin, right under the jawline. Yeah, that's good, you guys. And then do the other side. So bring the right leg back, slide the left knee out to the side, and then turn your head to the right. You can feel it, you know, and hopefully, thank God, I'm pretty sure most of you, it won't be very big, because that's, you know, the indication that you're got cold or getting sick. But we want the lymphatic fluid to flow through our body. Yeah, and that's what we did today, stimulating the underarms, the inner groin, the neck. Awesome. All right, let's stretch a little bit. So, bring your feet together and then slide your feet away from you. So you've got kind of a bigger diamond. And then, you know, I would have my feet, if anything, have my feet on the mat and have my buttocks off the mat. And then what I do, because my mat's super thin, is put my hands underneath my ankles. And then you can use the head of the weight on the ground to be, if your head is far from the floor. But I want you guys to rest your head on something, because I learned in a yin practice, when you put your head, the weight of your head on something and the head is supported, it's another way of stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system. So it literally takes the weight of the head or the world off your shoulders. So in this pose, it's a spinal extension as we spinal flexion as we round the spine, but it's also really calming. And then every time you're in a forward fold, it's a good idea to hold your belly in nice and firm to protect the low back. Yeah, we'll stay here for a couple more breaths. This is a really tight part, our hips, our groin, our low back. Good, and then we did a lot of kind of open leg stuff today, so I wanted to invite everybody to try a spread leg forward fold. Now, this just might not be available to you, and this is what happens when you practice yoga and bar, you know, kind of every day for 20 years. So don't beat yourself up because you are getting flexible because you've made it this far in the class, right? So if you're with me, you just forward fold far enough until you feel a stretch. In this case, it would be to get the left thigh because that's the one that's out. If you do both legs, then it's both legs. But the feet don't cave in, and then you don't slump over because that just immediately falls into the low back. So I can show you in profile, the toes point to the ground, you keep this neutral spine. So this isn't neutral, and then an overarch isn't neutral either. It's just nice and flat and straight, and you go as far as your body will let you without the feet caving in. And then we hold. Now, for the first 15 years maybe of my practice, when this part of class happened, I would often roll up my mat and leave because we were no longer burning calories and building muscle and sweating. And my brain would get a hold of me and I'd be gone. But what I started to do, and I got it from Muhammad Ali, is he says, you know, affirmations, if you repeat them enough, begin to materialize in your life. So to keep me from spinning, I just say something over and over again. And these days I say, I am healthy. And then I say, Jack is healthy. Jesse is healthy. And I run through everybody I care about. There's a Buddhist meditation called loving kindness, and it's a similar thing. So try that as you're in these not so comfortable forward folds. Good, and then let's bring the legs together. Now this one is rough. So we don't have to be here long, and actually I want to turn in profile because I want to show you what I still have to do. So think about bringing the thighs towards the chest. And then the forward fold, I mean, I still have rounding in my back, even to this day, and that's just kind of the way it is for me. So I continue to work on lengthening through the spine. Yeah, it's almost like you're finding a back bend in the forward bend. Yeah, and then if you do want to lay your chest on your thighs, that's okay if it feels okay on your low back. If it starts to pull on your low back, then that's where you finish, that's where you stop. But just bowing your head like this, or even putting your head in your hands. Oh, this is good. This is really good. And this is one of those where it really doesn't begin until you've settled down. Because there's a release that happens. So my favorite teacher of all time, his name is Brian Kest. And he has a class that he still calls Long, Slow, and Deep, LSD. And the last posture in the class is a 10-minute seated forward fold, just like this. And to hold this pose for 10 minutes requires a patience and a self-soothing. I mean, I used to suck my thumb, and I did till I was 8. I think I could have done it easier if I had put my thumb in my mouth. That's how challenging. But the reward from something as simple as folding over for 10 minutes and committing to it and allowing your body to unfold like a flower is like nothing I've ever experienced. So his website is poweryoga.com, and he's got a couple studios in Santa Monica. I think actually one now. And he probably still teaches the class. Oh, he's so great. And then we'll slowly come up and then lay on your back. So now that the hamstrings and the groin are nice and warm, let's take it even further into a one-legged happy baby. So this is more accessible if you bend your left knee, put your left foot on the floor, and just brace your pelvis on the floor. Then grab the outside of the right foot or the back of the right knee and pull down. Another our day. We did it. Another day that we did not just sit around. I'm going to force myself, it's raining outside, I'm going to force myself to go out and walk. And I'm going to get my 18-year-old and make him come with me. Oh, it's been great. We've been playing cards and talking for lengths, you know, and it's not really like that usually. There are some simple pleasures that have come out of this. And then let's twist over to the, bring the knees over to the left and look over to the right. Release that low back. So I'm serious. You guys can message me on YouTube. Tell me the things that you've been doing, kind of out of the ordinary, that are bringing you joy. Tell me the things that you're appreciating by being home. The good stuff. Let's focus on the good stuff. Because it's a fact. You can grow your positivity neuroplasty. And there's terms about this. His name is Rick Hansen. And if you look him up, he has a whole course in training your brain to just default to the positive. And I think it began with the Tibetan Buddhist monks, where they're, and the Dalai Lama, just this kind of deciding to be happy. When they analyzed their brains, they had a bigger, either prefrontal cortex or more gray matter. So you can change your brain biochemistry with your thoughts. And clearly I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm just really interested in how to live well. And then we'll twist on this side. And even though we can't be together, just being here doing these videos with you makes me feel like we're together. And I hope that I can bring you that sense of community and friendship as well. And then roll over onto your right side. I want to do one more of those neck stretches. So bring the arms overhead and then bring the right hand to the left ear. And if you want, you can take your left fingertips, and it's like you're petting a cat. If you want to start at where the jawline is, and it's a nice stroke down. Yeah. It's stimulating that drainage. And then the same thing on the underarm. Take your left thumb and dig it into the underarm and massage that down. And we'll do the groin at the same time when we're done. And then arms overhead again, and we'll do the left side. So grab onto the right ear with the left hand, and then stroke fingertips to the neck. Drive it down. I might add this into when we get back to the studio. This feels great. And then digging into the underarm with your thumb. And there's something about a placebo, like just thinking you're doing something good for your lymphatic system by doing this is gonna help. I mean, there's science behind that too. Good, and then finally this inner groin area, this is where the other lymphs are. So just dig in and kind of massage your fingers into that part. All right. Bring your arms overhead, just one more twist each way. Exhale. I hope you feel as good as I do. Got rid of some built up stuff maybe. Feel like you accomplished something productive and healthy. Namaste. See you tomorrow.